This meeting is
Hello.
being recorded.
That's new.
That was fucking weird. Anyways, hello and welcome to another episode of A Ghost in the Magazine. I'm Steph.
And I'm Elle.
I'm Mel.
And I'm Jay.
And this episode is very special because we're running a Call of Cthulhu campaign, okay? So my character's name is Jessica. I named her after Morty's love interest for no reason except for the fact that it was the first name that came to my mind. She's a super cool librarian who has a lot of knowledge in the occult. She's not very combat ready, but she does know some capoeira because she takes classes. Yeah, she's a little crazy and very cool.
And I am the keeper of arcane lore.
Ah,
I'm Mel. I'm an athlete, ride or die. I'm definitely the person you want in the back of the truck next to the gun rack kind of thing for sure. Young, gritty, an activist, but definitely ready to put in some work. So,
her.
yeah.
Hello, I'm BK, the owner and operator of a small burger franchise that you might be familiar with. I live inside Elon Musk's frontal lobe. My pronouns are it and what the fuck, because that's what people tend to say when they see my beautiful plastic face. And I have a I have a strong interest in the occult, but particularly the occult of cheeseburgers.
I love how we're just like letting that sink in. The expressions on everyone's face.
What is the book called? The Cheeseburger Nomicon?
It's the Necro Cheeseburger Con.
Necro
Yes.
Cheeseburger Con.
So what's in it? It's just like all the burger names from like Bob's Burger Specials. What?
No, wouldn't
Just
that
all
be
the
too-
burger
well,
of the day.
I wouldn't go to Bob's restaurant. No. This is the King's restaurant.
You have it your way there, so
Excuse
It is-
us.
It is quite a whopper.
Jessica just died inside.
I think all of us kind of died a little bit inside.
I'm dead inside. I'm plastic.
Yes.
Mel's picky about her protein. I don't know. A paper crown won't sell it. I don't know.
Ooh.
Yipper.
Fighting word. I don't know if you want to. I don't know if you want to take Mel on.
I wouldn't recommend. Just
Not
me
even-
and my books over here.
Not even with my bullwhip that I would occasionally use on my ex-lover, Ronnie McClown.
I say bullwhip. You mean tickling rod?
I
Oh,
want to
shit, that's
stress,
again.
just to be clear, it was completely sexual.
So was that. So, yeah.
All right, guys. So
So,
we are going to be going on this magical adventure with these wonderful characters here. Let's get situated here with the inciting document. So these characters are all, what they have in common is they are all working at a magazine, a literary magazine. Kind of like how, that's what we all have in common here on this podcast. So the inciting incident here is a letter that they get from their managing editor, who we know is Dr. Grandpa Brick Barno Highcock, who
Dr. Grandpa.
he is Dr. Grandpa. If you remember, Dr. Grandpa was in the last episode because at that point Steph was leading the journey. So we've switched roles here. And since Dr. Grandpa is stepping back, he has sent this letter to bring them all in, and I'm going to go ahead and read that. Editorial team, I appreciate you coming together to represent our magazine in my stead. I know it's short notice, but you know how it is. Trifling billionaire Jesk Muskrat hired a cyborg necromancer to revive my mortal enemy, the Sproog Daddy. Rumors on the internet have convinced me that they have not only revived and rebuilt the devious criminal mastermind from Arturos, but have outfitted him with a full cybernetic body, including junk. You know I can't have that motherfucker out there, banging ladies and selling dimensional fusion bombs to the ne'er-do-wells of your planet. Anyway, while I'm fighting crime and saving the universe, you three are going to party with the guy who partied with Kansas. Friend of the magazine and former Bullet Boys roadie, Dundas Mackey, owns a party cabin out in the woods behind the Dairy Queen on Terminal in 86. Dundas and I go way back, and he's a little burnout, a little paranoid, but a nice fellow with an encyclopedic knowledge of cock rock, butt rock, and most importantly, chode rock. He's not only a great conversationalist, but the consummate host. He has a giant cookie jar full of assorted edibles, and his fridge has a never-ending stock of cheap domestic beer. During the party, you're going to be interviewing Dundas about this event that he's hosting next month. He has built a stage in the clearing behind the party cabin and is trying to procure a bunch of local bands to support a nationally touring band he was able to rope into playing via one of his Motley Crue drinking buddies who allegedly hung dong in one of their music videos. The party itself is set to be a rager. Dundas is a really popular guy who runs in advantageous circles in the local art scene. You're going to want to vibe, not only with him, but with whoever else you are able to rub elbows with. It's important to cultivate contact and potential interview subjects during this party. Full transparency, I've noticed a weird undercurrent around certain hangers-on at Dundas's parties. Dead eyes, gray skin, thick patches of hair growing in the palms of their hands. I wrote it off as a bunch of junkies and wankers, but lately I've noticed some weird behavior out of Dundas himself. But then again, dude's a massive burnout. Though you've all met Dundas at least one of our open mics. You know, the guy who wrote about bluebirds and blowing Jim Morrison near a dumpster behind an abandoned strip mall. I'm gonna include some press passes just in case he's violently high and has already forgotten our arrangement. So enjoy yourself, but keep your wits about you. I should be back by the end of the weekend as soon as I have smoked this bitch and rubbed my tiny balls across the bridge of Jesk Muskrat's nose. Yours, Dr. Grandpa Brick Bardo Highcock, managing editor of Clove Cigarettes magazine. Do you accept the assignment?
Fuck yeah.
I accept. Great
Okay.
A.
Yeah,
100%.
let's do it.
Okay.
Why you sound so hesitant, King?
Yeah, I wasn't hesitant. I was just trying to think of a new type of burger.
Ay, Dios mío, continue.
Okay, so
Need
you guys
time.
are at, Clove Cigarettes headquarters, and a unmarked white van pulls up. And there is a driver in there. He's of the race of Grandpa Highcock, the Arturan. He's a little
But-
guy.
How can he drive?
It's set up just like Grandpa drives. Grandpa drives.
A complicated system of wheels and pulleys.
Exactly.
Okay.
And he welcomes you. He's gonna take you to that Dairy Queen off of Terminal in 86 if you're game.
Kitchen.
Okay,
Kitchen.
so
It's the good Dairy Queen.
it
Sounds
is.
like
It's,
where you want to get 86.
it's the good Dairy Queen in town. So you drive across town. It's pretty uneventful. You arrive at this Dairy Queen.
I would like to say that BK is visibly uncomfortable being this close to a fast food restaurant.
That is
Um,
not his own.
That is not his own, yes.
But
Is
this
this plastic
is the
face
good Dairy
wedding?
Queen.
Huh?
Right.
So it's just the eyes going,
Okay.
like it's squinting. They're squinting.
So the van pretty much just drops you off and just says, all right, have a good time, drives off. So you are now in the back of this Dairy Queen. There's a single row of parking spots behind the crumbling curb that separates the drive-through line. The blacktop's a little rough, and there are several potholes with mud and debris inside them. Behind the lot is an overgrown hedge that hugs around a large dumpster. There's woods back behind the hedge. So what are you gonna do?
About the dumpster?
You're just dropped here.
Oh, all right. Well, oh fuck.
Okay, I'm gonna push you guys a little bit because you are not you know, you're not D&D players or Call of Cthulhu players before, and I've already lost my dice. That's great. You're gonna want to roll for perception at this point, okay? And
Roll
you guys have
perception.
different, so the way that it works with Call of Cthulhu is different than the way it works with regular D&D. You have different perception skills. And so Steph and Mel have spot hidden, and Jay has listen.
3.
Did you roll both? Oh, you need to roll twice.
Oh, okay.
You got 3 first, so that's 30.
3 and 7. He failed because he's like viscerally trying not to vomit at the smell of leftover Dairy Queen rising
There is
from
no
the
leftover Dairy Queen. Everybody
Oh,
finishes
then it
their
must be-
Dairy
it
Queen.
must-
Okay, so Steph and Mel, you guys don't have dice, right?
No.
Okay, so I'm rolling
No.
for you. I'll roll for Steph first. You failed. I gotta do a little math here really quick.
Oh, there's math in this game?
Yeah, there's math in all of these, which is bad because I'm not a math person.
Oh, I'm not a math
So
major.
I can't guarantee that my math is correct. But okay, so let's do Mel's roll. We're also going for 25 or under. No. Mel got 50.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say I spun the wheel a little too hard. You know?
So,
Stop
so
using
it-
your muscles, Mel. Like,
So
use your Jessica muscles.
you notice a funky chicken nugget that has been eaten into a rough dog shape. Next to the nug, there are some tiny footprints that you recognize from the boot prints on the back of your calves, and you realize that there is a break in the hedgerow right there. What do you do at this point?
Okay. Well, Jessica's dumb, so she's gonna try to squeeze through the tiny hole.
He's dummy thick.
Right. I mean, she's smart, but not street smart.
Are you
So she doesn't think she
crawling
should walk
through?
around.
Are
Yeah.
you crawling through? Okay, so you're gonna crawl
Yeah.
through. I feel like
It's
I need to
fucking
do some
tight,
kind of a
bro.
check here. Just a second, let me pull you up. What am I
She's
checking
smart.
here?
Are you checking my smarts?
No, it's not a smart. It's some kind of a athletic thing because you're crawling through a hole in a hedge.
We do
It's-
capoeira,
Okay, let's use your
at least
capoeira
once a
skill
week,
because you're like
right?
you're going like
How-
this through.
How do
it,
they do in Bob's
you know?
Burgers? Hop through the
So-
leaves.
You're trying to do it like very gracefully, so we're using your capoeira skill, which you're at 50% there, so we have a high.
And my
and
pants are a little
We rolled
tight.
56, and that's really close. You got maybe a snag, and it ripped part of your sleeve here, like right here at the top, and
Well, that's okay because I can crochet. I'll
You're just
crochet that shit back together.
there you go.
We're fine here. I got
But
through the hedge.
you did get through the hedge.
BK, after having spotted the chicken nugget, is trying not to violently throw up.
When she crawled through, you guys realize that there is a break there. These two don't have to crawl because there's actually like if you go to that little hole, you can like push the whole thing aside. And
Yeah, because her hips made the way for y'all.
Well, it was
I was
also
going
so,
to just tear through it anyway. So
Yeah.
you know.
it was also just like an option, but you decided to go through like an animal.
Hey,
So
I got shit done.
you did. You got it done. You did a good
And
job.
now she has an off the shoulder shirt.
Right. She's
But-
a fashionista.
Yes. It's
But I'll
it's
fix it.
nice. It's
Yeah,
gonna be
I'll fix
knitted.
it.
It's
Yeah.
cute. Okay. You know
Now
what?
it's
I
an
cut
original
this.
design. Right.
Yeah, it's original.
It's upscaled,
Right.
Yes.
Upcycled. Amazing.
upcycled. Yes.
Okay.
I got you. I got
So
you.
y'all are now all three on the other side of this hedgerow, and you're just standing here looking into these woods. The woods are dark and dense with a mix of deciduous and evergreen trees. Due to the thickness of the canopy, there is not a lot of growth in the depth of the woods, giving it a bit of a tunnel effect. However, there is a well-established trail that runs between the trees. It's wide enough to fit about 2.5 people shoulder to shoulder. The dirt on the trail is slightly darker than the dirt on the side of the trail, and due to BK's wide shoulders, since he is this big plastic man, he can only walk one at a time, but Mel and Jessica could walk through side by side if they wanted
Are we
to,
holding hands?
if you so choose.
Arm's length.
So you have this trail ahead of you. What do you do?
Well, we're gonna link arms and walk through it.
You're just gonna
Yeah,
walk
we're
through the
in there
trail?
now.
Well, yeah. I
Are you-
mean, all right. It's dark. It's spooky.
Mhm.
So, Jessica's gonna use her cell phone light
Okay.
and then link arms.
Okay.
BK
So-
is that third friend, like whenever the sidewalk is too thin
Well, because
And
you got a
two
big old
friends.
head.
and two friends start walking ahead together and the third friend gets pushed to the back. That's BK right now.
We
It's
should
not
make
our
you walk
fault.
first to catch all the spider webs.
Oh, that's an
True.
idea.
True.
I vote for that.
You're
We'll
plastic.
follow the rear.
If the
Right.
spiders
Yeah.
bite you, it doesn't do
It doesn't
anything.
affect the plastic.
Yeah.
So BK is not actually the Burger King from the ads. His face is it's more akin to the masks that they wear in the first Purge film. You know, with the big grin, and it's just like plastic, but you can see like there's holes for the eyes because his plastic surgeon was terrible.
I'm sorry, but respectfully,
So
if this is a vote situation, I'm voting for you to still go first.
Yeah, you did
Oh,
make
that
a
was the
case.
question.
for going-
BK is like grabbing his lapels like this and just walking forward.
Yeah, you walk that walk.
what
buddy.
you're saying is he has area around his eyes that is like very
Are flesh.
vulnerable to
Yeah.
spider bites.
Not spider proof.
Yes.
Not Spider-Man.
That's what you're
So-
telling us.
We'll pray for your
Yeah.
eyes, brother.
However, with
Swat your arm
Jessica's
with
light,
Right.
It'll get him.
Jessica's walking behind me, so the light is just like framing him to whoever is ahead of him, which
Whoever
is terrifying.
or
when you
whatever.
think about, like the silhouette of the Burger King approaching
and
you.
you have
in darkness.
intimidate.
Yes.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah,
It
makes
works.
sense. Yeah, I like it.
So
Good
are
tactic.
you guys just walking through the trail? Are you going to like do any perception rolls, or are you just gonna walk?
We should probably perception roll, right?
I
Seems
would
a little
Because otherwise we're just fucking walking.
yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Let's do some of that.
All right. So Jay, you want to go ahead first?
You
Since you have your own dice.
3 and a 1.
That you guys don't have very high investigation skills, but they are, there's still a chance that you could get one of these.
Okay. I believe
Not
it.
the fuck around and find out club.
It's fuck a
This-
boot and find out.
Yes.
Okay, so Jessica failed. She's not going to hear anything or see anything. She's not spotting
Surprise,
anything.
shoddy.
hidden. And
Right. Okay.
so did
I'm
Mel,
here.
unfortunately. So,
Oh fuck.
so you
Until we
guys are
haven't
just-
passed, I guess I'm useless.
You guys
They
are
can't
just
see
walking
anything
through the
behind
woods.
BK's big head.
Amazing. All right, so we're walking. And
And
we're walking.
and are you going to stay on the trail, or are you going to go off the trail? That's the next
No.
question.
Okay, respectfully, we can take this as a vote, but in my opinion, nothing good comes from getting off the trail. At least there's a trail, and that means someone has come before. I read this in a book once. You can trust me, I'm a librarian.
And I mean, the dirt's a different color on the trail. So it's kind of, somebody's traveled it before, possibly recently. So I think keep on the trail,
Yeah, someone with bad taste in burger joints. But like, think about this, right? We're trying to get to this guy's house. I doubt a trip through the woods in that direction, and BK points to a tree, is better than taking the path right to his house.
Period.
Period.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair enough. I just wanted to make sure that that was your guys's group choice. So now you are going to actually get to see the map, because you are going to come through the other side of the woods, completely safe. You're fine. So this is the end of episode 1 right here that we have come to. You guys are coming out of the woods. You see a little like shack right here.
An old shed or something. This map is bitchin'. Here be trees, the shitter. It's a good map.
Mhm.
Mhm.
There's a shitter.
At least there's a shitter.
There is
know
a
what I mean?
Is the
shitter.
map
The problem is I
The
did not
size of
change.
that Dairy Queen.
It's a
Yeah,
big
The
are
zone
you-
on
but
its own.
Are you jealous?
that's
Are you
the
jealous?
Dairy Queen. That's the property. Okay, it's not the Dairy
Oh,
Queen
okay.
itself. So that's what the shitter looks like. I don't know if you want to go in there and risk spider bites on your balls, but that's what the shitter looks like. It is just an old, disgusting, dilapidated building that was once an outhouse.
I'm like, I don't know. Jessica's fine. She's a fucking trooper, but personally, I am afraid of porta potties and shit. So like, she'll just hover. Like she's Gucci.
I would shit in the woods for fun and leisure, so I'm definitely not going in there. Just so yeah, definitely not going to shitter.
It's just there so you guys know it. You guys understand this is like your lay of the land. You come out, you see the shitter, you see
Okay.
off in the distance you can see there's this big clearing here, and you can see Dundas's stage
Okay.
that he's starting to build there. There's like a bunch of lumber out there. There is, the start of the stage that he's building. This out here in the distance is a hillside, and there's an old shed up on the hillside. It just looks like an old dilapidated building like this one. And then you see Dundas's party cabin. It's where parties
What kind
happen.
of party? What
Party
kind of
cabin.
party?
The
Party
shitter
is
seems
a
like a
type
good
of
place to
party.
hide something, though.
It does.
where I'm
Oh, okay,
hiding my
she cute. She cute. She's cute.
So it's an A-frame cabin. And
Nice.
that is the next episode, exploring the rest of this area here. But so we have come to the end of episode 1 for this campaign, and you guys did pretty good. There were opportunities for you guys to get in a lot more trouble that you did not take, and I appreciate that.
Shit, I'm just wondering where. Oh, if we got off the fucking path.
It could have been insane right there in the woods.
It could have.
Yep, we could have not made it through the woods.
Yeah.
There was a possibility of not all 3 of you making it through the woods.
Well, see, I think us not
Ominous.
being receptive is helpful. Because if we're walking through the woods and we hear something and we try to investigate it, and it turns out to be like an eldritch being, like this is better. What we did was better.
But I mean, couldn't something like just jump on us at any point? Is that a possibility?
If you would have had higher perception, I can tell you this now because we are through this, and I am actually going to release all my notes so everyone will be able to read them as well. That if you would have been able to perceive, I believe it was actually Jessica that would have been able to perceive this part. There is a trail. Alongside the trail, there is a thin line of crystal salt on both sides of the trail. So that trail is warded. If Mel
I
would
know
have,
that.
if Mel would have passed her perception check, she would have seen a fairy circle of fly amanita mushrooms out in the distance. If BK would have passed his perception roll, he would have heard a low growl out in the middle of the woods and a faint sound of something being dragged off in the distance.
The lumber for the stage.
It could have been.
It's like, it's fine. It's just wood. Let's go this way.
And then I had an entire scenario built should you have gone out and investigated that sound. So it was a very low possibility. And that's the problem with like building these campaigns, these homebrew campaigns, is you have all of these different possibilities and you got to try to figure out where the players are going to go. And sometimes you waste time, and that's okay because I still had fun. So
If
And
you
I can-
hadn't done it, we would have been like, "What's that off the trail?" And you'd be like, "No, off the trail."
yeah, exactly. That's the thing. Because
Yeah.
I have done that before, actually, with Call of Cthulhu. Like the Call of Cthulhu game that I ran before was so insane. Like they picked all of the shit that I did not plan, and I had to do everything off the cuff. And it was my first time running in this system, and I was just pulling my hair out. So
I feel like I could be really
overplanned a little
good
bit.
I feel like I could be really good at off the cuff because I just be talking mad shit. Like, all right, there's a
could.
Wendigo out there, bitch, and he's
Like, you want to go? We're going. Here's what's out there. Nothing good.
We don't say that word.
We said
That's why I
Wendy boy.
pronounced it like that.
Okay.
The Wendy boy.
The Wendy boy. But yeah, in the future, definitely, Steph, you might be better at the off the cuff stuff, you know, that I'm not so good at, and you could be the keeper in the future. So I am here to teach and here to run this specific campaign. And like I said, there's opportunities to continue this. There's also opportunities for me to take what I wrote here and adapt it for a different part of the game at some point. So it's never wasted. It's always fun world building. So
No, I like it. I like it. I'm gonna start writing mine now.
Matt Mercer, eat your heart out.
Yeah, now that I kind of understand what we're doing, I can have fewer like question marks like floating over my head. But I get it now. I get it. So yeah.
You can find this podcast on the interwebs at ghostinthemagazine.site, or you can find it on Twitter at GITM Podcasts. You can find me on Twitter at WitchXPudding.
you can find me at Nocturnical.
You can find me at Hedda_Mel.
And you can find me at J. Rafferty Poet.
Okay, bye.